Hey, what's going on YouTube? Jason J. Kramer Fitness Protein Review Guy. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at Seeq Clear Protein. And you may be wondering and asking yourself, is this thing actually good? Or is it TikTok bait with a scoop of delusion? Because it looks like juice, tastes like juice, but if you're spending 49 bucks for a protein hit, it better be doing more than flexing pastel fonts and influencer vibes. Looking at the label, one scoop shares 22 grams of protein. Sounds solid, but let's hit the math. Leucine, the muscle building MVP, you get 1.2 grams. That's half of what needed to even trigger muscle protein synthesis. Isoleucine, 2.3 grams. Wait, what? That's the exact opposite of how real whey is structured. That's textbook amino spiking. If you're just here for taste, sure, it's a refreshing post-cardio sip, but if you're really lifting heavy and trying to recover like a grown adult, this ain't it. Psst. You want to know the fastest way to spot a sus protein brand? Ask them for third-party testing. I got the simple response of proprietary. They'll flex that it's made in a GMP compliant facility, which means it isn't made in a gas station bathroom. It doesn't confirm the protein is real. It doesn't confirm the leucine. It just means the machinery was clean. Now, you may be wondering, does this brand have a Prop 65 warning? You betcha. They try to bury it like a bad Amazon return. See, under California law, Prop 65 kicks in when a product contains toxic compounds above the legal limits, like lead, cadmium, arsenic, the role. You don't accidentally slap the warning on a label, you earn it. Now, if that wasn't enough, Seeq also uses silicon dioxide, E551, also known as the anti-foam fairy dust. Now let's go ahead and tackle the final thing, is Seeq Amino spiked. I'll put it this way, if there's a protein powder red flag starter pack, this thing checks every box. Let's start with the leucine, the amino acid that actually triggers muscle growth. High quality whey isolates usually range between 9 to 11%. Seeq 5.45%. That's not a little low, that's protein math malpractice. Next clue here is, where is natural flavors in the ingredient list? Well, listed second, above malic acid, emulsifiers, even sweeteners. That's not flavoring, that's formula hiding. Under FDA code 21 CFR 101.22, brands can legally tuck free-form aminos like glycine or taurine into the catch-all term. And now here's this. The BCAA profile is reversed. Normally, leucine dominates. Here, isoleucine is almost double. That's not naturally occurring in real whey. If you're wondering, natural real whey offers a 2-to-1-1 ratio. This thing is engineered. You ever buy a $49 tub of protein and just realize you paid for extra vibes? Well, yeah. Welcome to my world and welcome to the Seeq Protein comparison. Let's see who's actually serving muscle and who's just selling mood boards. We are comparing Seeq against MyProtein Clear Whey, Oath Nutrition, and finally Isopure. Let's talk Seeq versus MyProtein Clear Whey, because one of these is actually clinically verified protein and the other is Seeq offers 1.2 grams, that's 5.45% leucine, not enough to trigger muscle protein synthesis, and you double scoop and you mortgage your house. MyProtein doesn't list the numbers, but is verified by Informed Protein. It doesn't mean a whole lot unless you see that amino acid profile, which MyProtein is playing the proprietary game. Stat number 2, protein per scoop versus scoop size. Seeq gives you 22 grams of protein per 28 gram scoop. MyProtein gives 20 grams of protein per 25 gram scoop. And finally, stat number 3, the price point, $1.96 versus $1.43. Let me get this straight. Seeq charges more for less protein that's not even verified and a side of mystery metals, while MyProtein gives you tested gains, spares you the wallet trauma. All right, we've got Seeq versus Isopure, 2 clear whey isolates fighting for your post-workout shaker bottle. One is loud, pastel, and overpriced. The other, quiet, efficient, and suspiciously affordable. You already know Seeq gives you 1.2 grams, 2 grams of leucine, which is half to stimulate muscle growth. Isopure, they don't even bother playing that game, and that's a classified document. Looking at the protein density, 22 grams of protein per 28 gram scoop, 76% protein by weight. Isopure, 20 grams of protein per 25 gram scoop, 80% protein, no amino clown math required here. Translation, if we're believing the label, Isopure delivers leaner protein, less scoop filler, and doesn't hide behind the TikTok sparkle. Now, this is where Isopure really pulls ahead. $1.36 per serving, which is crazy. You're paying 60 cents less per scoop for Seeq's claimed GLP-1 buzzwords and a Prop 65 warning. Meanwhile, Isopure just quietly shows up at a very discount bargain rate. Isopure is not trying to impress you on Instagram, it's just trying to give you more protein at a lower cost. Isopure takes this round, hands down. Finally, Oath Protein shows up like it's a prepping for a TED Talk. Seeq shows up like it's headed to Coachella. But which one actually delivers protein? And which one just marketing cosplay? Now, on paper, Oath crushes Seeq, 2.7 grams of leucine, which is textbook muscle building dosage. There's a problem if you saw my Oath review. Oath refuses to verify any of it. No third-party testing, no amino acid profile, no COA. Just vibing in a lab coat. Seeq, you already know, 1.2 grams of leucine, which is leak, but at least it's honest about it to a certain degree. Oath markets like a surgeon, delivers like a staged magician. Price, basically the same at this point. Transparency, Oath is out here talking like it's running trials at a Mayo clinic, but when I ask for an amino acid profile, zilch. Now, don't get me wrong. This thing isn't innocent. They're out here falsely advertising GLP-1 support on their Amazon page like they're regulating insulin spikes, when in reality it's just fruit punch with peptides. So why does Seeq still win this matchup? Because at least Seeq owns the mess. It doesn't hide the 1.2 grams leucine. It doesn't pretend it passed any clinical thresholds. It knows it's a sweet tart macro mirage, not a medical grade supplement. Oath, it tends to be precision dosed, pretends to be lab backed, but when you peel off the clinical font, it's all talk, no testing. All right, you know this part of the review, 3 pros, 3 cons, because Seeq protein powder isn't the worst clear whey I've tested so far. But that doesn't mean it deserves your post-workout window. Starting it off, mixability is solid. Shake it, let it chill for 30 seconds. It clears up smoother than your last situationship. Talking about flavor, it delivers. Watermelon Wave is a clean, crisp, and won't haunt your taste buds. Finally, it's a low-calorie, low and a lactose-free option. 100 calories, no sugar, no creaminess. For those who want a light, fruity experience, this thing checks the box. Now, looking at the cons, totally underpowered, and it is amino spike. 1.2 grams of leucine in 22 gram scoop. That's 5.45% leucine per serving, a far cry from what science says builds muscle. No third-party testing, no proof, no informed protein, no NSF, no amino acid breakdown, la-di-da-di-da. And then, of course, the Prop 65 warning. Buried it in a legal karaoke instead of just saying, hey, our protein may expose you to heavy metals. In their FAQ, it is buried under some little word salad, making it sound like it's not that bad. All right, what do the Amazon friends say out there about Seeq Protein? Now, as of today, it has 3,100 reviews, 3.9 stars. At first glance, you'd think Seeq Clear Protein is a certified post-workout banger. But if you actually read the reviews, things get a little pastel shady. Now let's go ahead and look at the 5-star hype. Miles better than chalky shakes, still a bit sweet, but macros are great. Fruit punch is amazing. Just add ice, sweet, so dilute it. No weird whey taste. I doubled the water though. It's really sweet. Bottom line, people love the taste. Once they double the water, adjust the ratios, accept that it's just more than just juice than gym fuel. Now, let's look at the 1-star buyer's remorse nation. Tastes like children medicine. Sweet, but not in a good way. I use a frother, still got clumps. Tub arrived half full, paid $49, maybe got $30 worth of powder. Final Amazon verdict, flavor, big yes, mixability, depends on your level of patience and your blending style. All right, so you crushed your lift, you're sweating, your muscles are primed for recovery. You'd be wondering, is 1 serving of this protein enough to get the job done? Short answer, nope, not even close. To trigger muscle recovery, science suggests you need at least 25 grams of high-quality intact protein and between 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine. Seeq gives you this, 1.2 grams leucine, 22 grams of protein, unverified. And that 1.2 grams, well, it's far below what is necessary to stimulate muscle growth. 2 scoops might hit your leucine threshold, but now you've doubled the risk and the bill. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a Seeq shake. All right, one little watermelon boy going in. Let's go ahead, lock her up. So shake. As you can see, super frothy here. You can't really see a whole lot in the shaker wall here, but let's see what we got underneath. Cut lid, fantastic. Now, what I love about these clear wheys that as soon as you open up the container, you get the idea of what you're going to be drinking. We are going to go ahead and take a look at flavor watermelon wave. Cheers. So technically you shouldn't have any tart aftertaste. However, I think if I would have doubled the water intake, I think this would have been very serviceable. Now the question is, would I buy this flavor again? Yeah, most likely would, especially on a hot day. But my only gripe though, I kind of side with the negative reviews on this, that this thing can be overly sweet. But overall, you know, when you eat a watermelon or drink watermelon juice, it is supposed to be sweet. All right, let's go ahead, bring it home. Is this protein powder legit? Who is it for? What is it actually good at? And do any of those shiny Amazon claims hold up when we check the label? Now, Seeq is for people who ate milky shakes, people who want something sweet post-run, people who don't care about third-party testing or amino integrity. If you're prioritizing flavor over function, this thing fits. But if you're chasing actual recovery, this ain't it. 49 bucks a tub and nearly $2 per serving. Seeq is one of the more expensive clear proteins on the market without offering third-party testing, full amino profile, or clinical grade dosing. You're paying for taste, branding, and TikTok hype, not quality, not muscle, and definitely not transparency. What is this thing actually good for? Sipping on hot days? Yes. Post-cardio hydration? Sure. Leucine triggered MPS and muscle recovery? No. 1.2 grams of leucine per scoop, no amino verification. It can't be relied for serious muscle repairs. Now, here's how the competitors stack up against Seeq Protein Clear Whey, which has been verified by informed protein testing. Technically the clearest blend of taste, transparency, and value on market. However, they refuse to share an amino acid profile. Both Clear Whey, 2.7 grams, offering 13.5 yield. If you saw my review video, not a fan of the academic cosplay. Seeq offers just a smidge more transparency. If you are just looking for vibes at the best value, Isopure offers no fluff, no hype, the best cost per serving of the group. Final score and why Seeq earned a 21.5 out of 50, 43%. Seeq earned this score because tastes great, mixes well, it undelivers on protein integrity, it hides behind slick branding and vague claims, it's overpriced for what it offers. This isn't a recovery supplement, it's an expensive, low-sugar summer drink with protein dusted on top. Great for poolside and social media vibes, just not good for building muscle. All right, let's go ahead and settle this with the surge in clear wheys. Some of you are asking Seeq or Oath. Here's my take. Both show signs of amino spiking, but if I had to choose, I'd give Seeq the edge, not because it's perfect. Trust me, I am not thrilled to see a Prop 65 warning on my protein drink, but because at least Seeq is more transparent about what it is and what it isn't. Oath leans into the pharma core fantasy. I'm just surprised they are not putting out that GLP-1 claim on their Amazon page. What do you think? Are you Team Seeq or Team Oath? Drop your pick and why in the comments. Now, if you want the full breakdown, including the truth behind Seeq's GLP-1 claims, a deep dive into amino spiking red flags, and how they tiptoe around FDA labeling loopholes, hit the link downstairs for the full review. Finally, I want to say thank you for making it into another protein review. Make it a great day.